So for today, I want to teach you a little bit about a different menu that we really haven't used to this point, and that's our filter menu, okay? So when you look in our filter menu, you want to make sure that you guys are taking some time to take a look at these titles and making sure that we are seeing all of these. There are some that may not appear in yours. Specifically, when we look at some of these like artistic filters and the sketch filters, if those are not showing, you're going to want to make sure that they're showing. Again, my Photoshop is a little bit different than yours because I have a newer update on my computer. So it should still be the same. We're going to go into Edit, and we're going to Preferences. Okay, and you scroll. It's not going to show unless you scroll down. Okay, scroll all the way to the bottom. We have Preferences, and then you have something called Plugins. That's exactly where you need to go to turn these filters back on. When Photoshop did an update and moved to Creative Cloud, they removed these as filters that always showed up. So we just have to tell them, please show all filter gallery groups and names. So make sure that is check marked and then say, okay, you should be able to see all of the filters that I have up here, because these are the ones we're actually going to be using, okay? First, most important rule, remember I said, like I punched you in the stomach, your gut reaction when you first open up a new picture, please copy that layer. We're going to Control J. We're going to go ahead and work on this layer, and I'm going to make sure I don't do anything to this background layer. That's my original image, okay? A lot of you have been using adjustment layers over here. Please know, yes, those are options, especially as you know you're going to be just doing some simple, quick adjustments to them. The problem with those is that we end up putting an adjustment layer on there and it opens up as a separate layer. Now, again, that layer can be edited. You can go back to it. You could remove it. Like right now, I'm going to put that back in there, and I could just simply take that and delete it. The problem is when I try to apply some special effects to it, it may not show up properly. So that's why we were doing it in more of a destructive way. Yeah, it's destructive. Usually destruction is bad. But in this case, when you do the thing to the actual picture, you're more likely to be able to preserve those changes when you need to make other changes to it, okay? So for today, I want to show you about these filters, and it's really important that you know you've got a foreground and a background. Those are your colors. So the one on top is your foreground color. The one in the back is your background color. And what you can do is you can set those colors. You can go ahead and click on them. And I can come in here and I can choose whatever colors. Now realize, I don't have to drag it down to change colors. I just click, 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 click. Let's say that's the new color I wanted. I'm going to go ahead with that bright royal blue and say okay. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to change my background color. I'm going to go with something that contrasts. Let's go Bears, even though they didn't do so well in London yesterday. We're going to go ahead with an orange. Okay, so I've got blue and orange in my color picker. Now that I have those colors picked, I can go in my filter gallery. And it's really important that you understand for your filter gallery, I'm personally going to start off in Sketch. And it's the easiest for me to show you with some of these, including this one called Stamp. When I do this, you're going to get a little preview off to the side. You're going to want to zoom out. So I'm going to use my minus right here in the bottom left-hand corner. And I'm going to zoom out with that. Okay? Now in this case, I can work with my balance. I do have to make sure that I release the click every so often in case it's not updating. I can also work with the smoothness of it, like I can really smooth it, or I can keep it a little bit more detailed. Obviously this color scheme is not, or this is not working out wonderfully, because if I get more detail here in the rabbit, I lose a lot of detail over here. So I may actually cancel out of this and go back and edit my picture to give me a better quality picture. Then I'm going to go back to my filters, okay? Now, there's one thing that I really want to point out in your filter gallery. You will see some of these come in right here. You'll see the image as a black and white. That means it will use whatever two colors you put in your color picker. So if you have black and white, it will use black and white. If you have blue and orange, it will use blue and orange, okay? But when you see any that are full color, like this water paper, that will preserve whatever colors were in the original image and use that with the effect. Again, I clicked on it. I have a whole new set of options over here. I've got fiber length. This one's like a watercolor. I can work with my contrast, and I can work with my brightness and kind of make that happen. Again, you can shop around and you can take a look and see there's charcoal, there's graphic pen, here is reticulation. I can even close this menu up right here. I click on that arrow, I've closed it. I can go up into artistic and lower that. You'll see these are all in color, which means it'll preserve the colors that I used and just apply some kind of effect. For example, like cutout. I can say I want it in 4 levels. I could say I want it in 5 levels. I could say 6 levels or 7 levels. And it will give me a completely different image depending on what I have chosen there. My edge simplicity, do I want to simplify it? Do I want to make it really fussy? You have a lot more detail in there, etc. So explore your options and move them around slowly to see what they do, okay? Now I do want to go back though. I'm going to go back to my sketch, and I want you to remember this one. And this one is the blue with the orange, because I'm going to cancel out. If I flip these colors, I can grab this little arrow right here. I can switch my foreground and background. I now put that orange in my foreground and the blues in the background. I'm going to go back in my filter gallery. I'm going to go right back to my stamp, and you're going to see once I zoom out that it's giving me the exact opposite finish. So if you're looking at it, you're like, oh, you know what, I really wanted to see that in the other color. Cancel out, flip your colors. Let's say it's just a failure altogether. Cancel out, change your colors, see what can happen. Or cancel out and let's go and balance that image a little bit more before I keep going. I might go into my levels and I might really pump up some of my shadows to make sure I don't lose as much detail inside of that rabbit. And then I can come in and try it again. I'm going to flip these colors back. I preferred it the other way. Filter, sketch, and stamp. And you're going to see, just in a moment, I'm already at that beginning smoothness. I'm already getting more detail inside of that rabbit than I had before. Again, it's not stunning. I probably would not necessarily choose this one for this image. But you now know that you can explore these and you can take a look and see what options are out there for your particular image to make it look the best it possibly can. So today is reserved for you guys to explore this with one of your homecoming images. It could be an image that you took last week during class. It could be an image that you took at tailgate. It could be an image that you took over the weekend. Maybe it's you and your friend. But I want you to explore it, and I want you to be able to talk with me via comment and let me know how the explorations went. Don't tell me it was good. I want to hear, I tried this and this happened. I tried this and I hated it, but on this picture I loved it. I had problems with this. I had successes with this. Give me exact details so I can see where you are with the process and have fun with it. Don't forget, super important, edit, preferences, and you're going to go to your plugins to make sure that all filter gallery groups and names are shown. And that's it for today.